In one of the American states full of forests, there was a girl who worked in delivering orders to homes. This girl was called Maria. One winter night, an order came to the restaurant where Maria worked. Unfortunately, there was no other delivery worker at that time. All of her colleagues went out to deliver orders to customers. Maria had to deliver this order, which was half an hour away from the restaurant by car. She actually took a delivery car and set off to deliver the order. But on her way, the car broke down and stopped completely. Maria tried to communicate with one of her colleagues, but due to the bad weather, she was unable to contact any of them. It rained heavily that night, and despite the bad weather and rain, Maria decided to walk back to the restaurant, which was better than remaining in this dark and cold place. The trees in the forest on both sides of the road increased the terror in Maria's heart. After 5 minutes of walking in the middle of this scary forest, Maria saw a light coming from the forest, so she knew it was a house, so she decided to enter the forest and go to him to ask for help. Maria arrived home, but it was just an abandoned house, and there were no signs of anyone around. However, Maria decided to stay in the place for one night, especially since she was wet from the rain and would not be able to return to her home. She decided to stay the night in this abandoned house so that she could find her way back home in the morning. When she got inside the house, she wasn't sure that trying to stay in this place was the best option. The rooms were creepy and terrifying, and the floor was covered in dust and strange things. But when Maria sat on the sofa in the living room, she felt relatively comfortable. She was very tired from walking for a long time. She felt hungry, so she ate some of the pizza she was delivering to a customer, then decided to sleep. While Maria was preparing for bed, she felt that someone was watching her, and her feeling turned to horror when she heard a frightening sound coming from the bedroom. Maria decided to go check out the matter, but when she entered the room, she did not find anyone, and the room was completely empty, and there was nothing except a clean and comfortable bed, unlike the rest of the house. As soon as Maria started to relax on the bed, she heard a voice asking her,
"Do you like the place? Would you like to stay here?"
Maria felt very terrified, and she got up from the bed in horror and kept looking everywhere around her for the owner of the voice, but she did not find anyone. Suddenly, a large black man with red eyes appeared behind her. He grabbed her from behind and said to her,
"I am tired of living alone, and I want you to live with me in this house."
Maria tried to escape, but she could not escape his grip. He was huge, and because of her strong resistance, the terrifying man tied her to the bed. Maria was begging him to leave her, but he strongly refused and told her that he was tired of being alone and wanted her to live with him. Maria had to go along with him, and he offered her food and drink, but she was still tied up. Maria thought of a plan to escape from this terrifying monster, so she told him that she wanted to go to the bathroom, so the big man untied her. Maria entered the bathroom, and she was extremely terrified, and her goal was to escape from this predicament. Maria found a small window overlooking the forest, so she decided to climb the wall and get out through it, and indeed, after much suffering, she was able to get out of this terrifying house through the window. Maria ran as fast as she could towards the forest, and her goal was to get as far away from this house as possible. She ran for more than half an hour, then stopped to take a breath. But the most terrifying thing was that this monster suddenly appeared to her out of nowhere and said to her,
"There is nowhere to run, my dear wife. You will not be able to escape anywhere."
Maria interrupted him and quickly set off, but wherever she went, she found him in front of her. She did not understand anything, so she discovered that this man was the ghost of this forest that all the residents of the city were talking about. It was said that every year he kidnapped a girl to marry her, and this explains the disappearance of girls inside the forest. Maria screamed loudly to ask for help, but no one responded. She asked him to take her back to her home, and that she would not tell anyone about him, but he hit her in the head, and she lost consciousness. After a while, Maria woke up to find herself inside a delivery car. She started the engine, and the car started as if someone had fixed it. Maria ran home with tears in her eyes. Until now, Maria does not know whether what she experienced was just a dream, or whether the scary man responded to her request and brought her back home. I hope you liked the story, so don't hesitate to subscribe to the channel, as this motivates me to create more videos. The channel contains many stories, so enter and enjoy the most wonderful stories.